Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I have another Marine ECM, another MEFI 4, but this one is actually an 8.1 liters coming from Florida as well too. This is Tracy W. And so let me put you into the display capture. As you see, I have right now the computer connected. I have the multimeter on the right side, which is showing the 5-volt reference sensor ground, which is good. Our heart concerns, let me just show you, which I should have here. All right, so these are her concerns. So as you see, I remove her information. These are, so I always revisit, make sure there is the correct part numbers, and that is the computer we have connected. After I took the pictures, I put, the 8.1 and Tracy Wade in Florida with a marker, so I know which computer is who, because I got many computers in here. But yeah, so it says it's a constant alarm beep sounds when ignition is turned on. Typically, you get a few beeps and it goes off. Switch the ECM between engines and the problem moves, so it is isolated to the ECM. Same ECM, erratic engine behavior. Periodically, engine will drop RPMs. Next page. Well, bring in the throttle back down and up. The problem goes away. We'll bring the throttle back up and down, the problem goes away. Recently, I have experienced a loss of power. Not sure if it's ECM related, but I wanted to check the ECM for proper functionality. So those are hard to reproduce symptoms. The alarm, most likely we will be able to reproduce if it's happening in here. Well, as I normally do, I get a history before I erase anything to see what could be creating the issue. As you see, well, right now, let me see RPMs. You see, well, the sire is in 750. I'm right here, so you guys know where I am. That's the desire, but the real RPMs, I don't know why this module gives too many hits. Engine speed is 0 RPMs right there. So this is just connecting the computer calibration checksum for BFE. That is very important to make sure it's correct, and it is correct. As you see, I'm scrolling down because there's too many hits that are not even related to this computer, like governor and ETC. This has no throttle actuator. This is a drive-by-wire, and I'll show you that in the computer in a second. But yeah, so scrolling down to all this, to all these many fault codes. What we had when the computer come, one fault code right there, and it was 81 pump low open. I don't have that fault code here, Tracy. So going back to the test, I can show you, well, the one line that you cannot see right where I am, right on top of me right here, that line right there is for the total amount of trouble codes. So if I go over to the trouble codes, I have ECM has an open circuit. Yes, I did that on purpose, and I show this into multiple videos. ESD signals H and G, I have it unplugged. The reason I do that is I want to make sure that the computer is actually indeed reading fault codes, and then I can disregard those. I always just check them, and I can plug them in and run it and set out auto faults, which I can do here, but it's not really necessary because I know that that is what I'm doing. So those faults will not be able to erase unless I plug those two coils, and then I will know fault codes there. But the fuel pump is gone. All right, so as you see here on the right side, I got the 5-volt reference nice and steady, not as Lance Hunter from Florida. Probably you will be seeing that video too before this one. Yeah, was not repairable, that computer. It was impossible to bring it back to life. Too many of the outputs of that 5-volt regulator were damaged, and sorry, but I have to deem it as not repairable. All right, going into Tracy again. So her concerns, well, the alarm, but looking at these pit, hopefully you can see what I'm marking, moving on the bottom of the whole data list on the right side. We got warning buzzer output is off. So it's no alarms. If we go over to general warning, 1, 2, and lamp are off. So the general warnings are off, the alarms are off, the warnings are off, and the warning buzzer is off. So I don't see that here. Um, hmm, I am been running it probably, I don't know, maybe a couple of minutes. Oh yeah, right here, 9 minutes. So I can use the Zoom glass so you guys can see, and I'm probably going to do that like that. You guys can see what I'm talking about. So I got only 9 minutes or so of running the computer. I can probably connect those two coils just to get those two signals out. Let me just find those two coils because I'm doing this in a different. So this is not right here. I'm looking for these two wires, and I can show you in a second. um, this ground, I'm not using it. And this wire. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to do this live so you guys can see what I'm talking about. What I really need to do, and the other reason I usually do this is because these simulator, not sure why, has only 6 outputs for coils. So at the same time, I usually do this. I also leave this unplugged because there's not many outputs that I can, or sorry, inputs that I can connect it to. And I always have them taped because I don't want this to touch anything as far as, ground or anything. But it's kind of like a cap that I put in here that I can push. Hopefully I can do the same thing in here, and I did. I'm going to plug this in here if I can. I want to show you that those faults can go away. Yeah, we got 5 codes. I'm not liking it probably because I'm running it with both. Let me just see this. No. But if I turn this off, yeah, it's not like having 2 coils at the same time in there. You see, if I erase the faults now with the computer not running, all those faults goes away. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remember we got J and H, and we're going to have now I think SF, and I forgot to mark the other one. But let's run this again. You see now we got E and F. I unplug E and F and plug E and H, and that is gone. All right, so that is just to prove what I was showing before, and I can leave those in there, not a problem. But yeah, I will have always just 3 faults in there because of the reason that I have in here. The way that I can do it is when I am, remove the RPMs because there is no multiple signals in the same signal. I can erase the faults and then send the computer with no fault codes. So I can do that, not a problem. But as far as it started with all malfunctions, it will be impossible because I had those 3 faults, especially with these 8 coils. But the computer is running good as far as no warning buzzer output and no warning lights on. The fuel pump output is on, and I can definitely see that in here. So let me move you over to the main camera. I'm going to turn this off completely. And we're going to see, I want you to focus right here where I'm having my finger. You can see a tape. That tape says fuel pump relay. So I'm going to turn the computer back on. And then you can see the pump prime. That is exactly what it's supposed to do. And it's not a problem. We got, the malfunction indicator lamp on because of those 3 fault codes. So let me plug this here. Going to switch those back to where they go. And then show you that, yes, again, I can erase the full codes with the computer off. And now it just said malfunction indicator lamp. Well, it says malfunction indicator lamp is still on. Let me cycle the key one time. This shows my function. Well, it shows three full codes. It's now showing E and E, E and F. Move this to this side. Cycle the key one more time. Three full codes. Yeah, it's showing still E and F, so it needs to run. I don't want to run it with the other ones to not have the issue. You can see the signals in there. Cycle the key one more time. Raise the full codes. No trouble codes on this engine. But the malfunction indicator still shows us on. You guys are not even seeing them. I forgot to move the camera. But yeah, believe me, I got the full codes. I'm just trying to erase them. Yeah, we get the E and H. I mean, the H and G. Again, those cannot be erased. So that's why the malfunction is always on. It has to run. The malfunction indicator is on just because those faults are there. Going into the history, I got to open the folder again. Should be alphabetically ordered. So let's look for the malfunction indicator. Yeah, he has a malfunction indicator lamp on, or at least when I have it here. And at that moment, I only had a fuel pump on. But yeah, so if we have a full, it should. So yeah, so it will be very hard to duplicate his concerns in here, or her concerns. Sorry, Tracy. Um, hmm. I got the buzzer because buzzers are alarm. Malfunction should be just a light. A warning, yes. If you have an overheating, the warning lamp should be on. And let me try to duplicate that, raising the temperature, because we can do that here. Let me just go over the other way. I'm in 210, 228. Yeah, do you see now the warning buzzer is coming on and off? You see that warning buzzer now coming on and off, and it's because I have an over temperature. So right now, that is what is happening. So yes, the buzzer will be on and off and on and off until I change the temperature. So let's just stay in 158. See how long it takes that computer to reset itself, or if it has to be turned off. Again, guys, this is a test that I'm trying to run for Tracy. Hopefully, this, if you're a marine technician, you capture what I'm doing here, because you can do this in the boat and reproduce. This is gathering data. I always have to tell everybody, I don't just jump the gun and trying to repair something without really trying to duplicate the concern, trying to analyze the data that I can do with the computer in here. I believe what Trace is telling me, that, that swap the computers and maybe have moved to the other one. I just cannot reproduce it here. So if I cannot reproduce it, I will not recommend any repairs. What will I be repairing, right? So this is exactly what I'm doing now. I also wanted to show you, I forgot to show you that TAC module, this is just, a throttle actuator will be present. Then we will have that full, oops, I actually Forgot that I am in the middle of the way here. So guys, I forgot about that. So I'm going to have to increase the temperature again. But well, it did reset itself. So we didn't have the warning buzzer, which is the alarm. I'm going to raise the temperature one more time over to 200 volts, 200 Fahrenheit. And you'll see pretty shortly the buzzer going on and off and on and off and on and off. Okay, now it started on and off and on and off. So yeah, and then if I lower the temperature again, I'm going to put them into 158. It takes a little time to reset the buzzer. As you see, it's still on and off and on and off. That is the alarm, but it will reset because now it sees that the temperature is now steady at 158, 55, and that is now off. So yeah, without fault codes, and this is a very hard thing to do, and just seeing a symptom, because it's very important for me to be able to help you. Tracy, we're going to have to do more homework on the boat. I need to understand what is the computer seeing and what is exactly triggering that alarm. Because in here, even with an over temperature, the computer is reacting properly. I don't see an issue with the alarms. Neither one. Let me raise the RPMs. Been doing this just an idle. Probably 2500, 2600. So let me raise the throttle accordingly. So around there. And let me move the map. Manifold air pressure also high. I'm trying to look for that because right here. Okay, 15.4. So that should be okay. All right, we got another full code here. As you can see right now, we got 4 full codes. So I removed myself from the equation. I can move this actually right here so we can see, you can see me. I got so much landscape. Sometimes I forgot that I need to just move things over so you guys can see and you can see me too. All right, so we got 4 throttle codes. Most probably that's going to be for over temperature, and yes, it is. So we got the telltale set. So the computer is responding properly. It's raising the RPMs good. No warning lamps. Let me go up to 3000 RPMs. I'm going to raise the throttle a little more. We can raise the map to like 16 or so. This is an 8.1, so same folds. Nothing has changed. Let me create another over temperature condition and see if the engine shuts off or no. We got the warning buzzer on completely. Okay, and it did shut off. So right now I lost injectors. So this is exactly what it should happen. And this is, again, in this case, the computer shut down the injectors to turn the engine off and protect an engine that was overheating. The reason it doesn't do it in idle is because it sees that it's just barely running and it's trying to let you come back. But if you're 3,000 or so RPMs, it will shut the engine off, and it did. So nothing abnormal in here. Let me reset the computer again. Ignition off. You'll see that on the screen. Ignition back on. Got the fuel pump prime. And now it's running back into the same RPMs. I didn't change nothing, just the temperature. So when you are in higher RPMs and you have an overheating, it will shut off. It will set up the alarm, especially at that temperature, and it will shut you off. If I raise this to like maybe, I don't know, maybe 190, we might get a fault. I'm trying to go slowly. It's a little hard to do with these knobs on this simulator, so bear with me. That's too much. Very hard to do that precisely. Yeah, I'm going to like 190 to 200. It jumps like I cannot really do that here. Not sure why. Okay, that is a little high temperature. Still nothing abnormal. I'm trying to see the results on the computer. Remember, guys, I'm gathering data. Hopefully, you like this. If not, if you're not a technician and this is boring, I'm sorry, but this is trying to help people with boats, technicians with boats, how to use Rinda. This is exactly what I use, and I always recommend this because I want to have the same way of gathering data. They can record data and then send it to me. That will be very helpful. All right, so let me raise the temperature a little more. Let's still, 210 is considered a little. Yeah, on boats, it's hot. You see right now, it should turn off the boat and just did. So it should off. It definitely did over 200. So yeah, so 200, it just shuts it off. I'm going to reset the ignition one more time. And now you're a little far away, but you can see, let me just see. I'm going to just overheat it again and see if we lose the injection pulse within the computer pits. Yes, we do. Okay, so this is a good, let me just show you that. So one of the injection pulse widths in here. All right, let me reset the temperature. Reset the computer. All right, we got the same RPMs, just so you can see that as well. So we got 3,000. I don't know why after that when it goes into that. But we got 3,000 RPMs. This is just so you guys can see the same thing I'm seeing. If I go over 210 temperature, let's get to 10. You see now the buzzer is on and it cuts off the injectors. So that is normal conditioning there. I'm going to go down to, something that I can restart the computer. All right, so we got the RPMs back in there. I'm going to come down on idle. So we can see the different strategies the same manufacturer has done for these. I'm going to lower the throttle, which I can see, but not you guys. Well, it is there. Starting while warning is 1. I'm a 10% probably in there, 9%. And then the map, I want to come down to around 12.6. That's what I usually use. The values are really steady. MEFI computers are always a little glitchy. You will see that, when you're looking into this, throttle position going into 9.8 to 10. I mean, that's 0.2%. Those are normals for these computers. All right, so let's try to do the same thing. So we can see how the injector pulse width change, and that is mostly because of throttle and also manifold air pressure. But let's get the temperature high again, right? So the same thing where we were before. Let's see if the buzzer comes up at the temperature, or if I have to come up to like 220. So now that that reading of the temperature, you see it's a little more steady. Okay, now it's on, off. It looks like the 220 is the mark for the on, off. 220 is the mark for shut down the engine. So this is still just telling you we're overheating. So let's raise the temperature one little more. I want to see that alarm going on completely. See what the strategy is. And then Tracy, if you're looking at this video, I would recommend you to get a Rinda and compare the values. See if you can check temperatures, see what is actually, see that warning buzzer, if it's on and off, and then record. So for those that are watching the video, if I wanted to just click a recording, I can just go over to this record live data. That's a camera, and just click in there. This will start recording anything. Some like 4 seconds before I even press that button, because Rinda is always recording. Then when I click stop, this file, I can name it, like Tracy idle, and I can, revisit this with hot temp on purpose. So I remember that I did on purpose. And it's safe that I can go into documents, Rinda, record files, and that is there. And then Tracy, you can send that to me because, yeah, it's a little hard. I don't see, really. I mean, the computer is acting up properly. Let me raise up this temperature a little more. Yeah, it looks like an idle. It will just give you a warning, but it will not shut off the engine. Look, I'm in 240, 250 Fahrenheit. And you can see right there the injection bank 8 pulse width is still 2.5. The computer is running. I can see coils. I can see injectors. So no, it is just a warning buzzer. So a warning. I'm not sure if you have a problem with over temperature or a sensor that is not reading or reporting properly into the computer. Don't see that in here. I mean, I am connected to each of those values. The 5-volt reference is completely nice and steady. Let me just do one more test with you guys in here because I am connected to the ground on the computer. I mean, not in the computer, with the ground onto the simulator. So let me connect the ground on the computer itself. This is coming directly from the computer. And as you see, it's 5 volts steady. So that sensor ground and that 5-volt reference is completely good. The reason I don't like to put that in there is because the cable is a little short for what I'm doing. So it's like a no voltage drop at all. Yeah, no, Tracy, I don't see a problem in here for a warning because the alarm beeping, I don't see anything. You can see the alarm right now with with a hard temperature right there. As soon as I go down to a normal temperature, anything above or below 170, right there. It will take a couple of seconds to reset, but the warning buzzer should be off now. And it is. So yeah, I can see, this is the full test that I'm trying to do for Tracy. So yeah, it's a little hard to see what could be happening in the boat. So I can erase the folds. Let me move this in here. That temperature should go away, and it did. The Y is no longer present, right? So yeah, we got now only that the 3 folds that we saw. All right, guys, thank you so much for visiting the channel. I'm going to have to just leave it in here. I will keep going with my own testing in here, but I don't want to hold you for too long. This was more for records of my tests so I can show this to them and also to help technicians around and see how I do my testing, how I gather my data, and then analyze. Because after I do this, I always revisit all my videos, see if I missed something that I want to check again or not. But I don't see nothing in here, not for their concern. Okay? All right, so don't forget to subscribe. See you next time. Bye-bye.